your door, baby. You better open up your door, baby.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday and welcome to LeXrated Podcast, brought to you by the Plug Network. LeXrated Podcast is a podcast designed to bring forth open and honest conversation between creatives and intellectuals alike. I hope y'all are having a great day. Today with me, I have a special guest. He's joining virtually. Party all weekend, DJ Party all weekend. What's going on?
What's happening? What's happening?
So
good,
good
everybody?
to see you. So good to see you. So, of course, here on LeXrated, I just want to have conversation with you, pick your brain. Of course, I want to get into everything that's going on with you and everything that you've been doing, right? But first things first, if we're going to talk about some intellectual conversation between creatives. So there was an event that was held this weekend for the top tier creators, right?
I wonder what it was.
I wonder what it was. So the Oscars. Let's talk about it. Everybody's talking about it. They said we only had until 2 p.m. yesterday to talk about it, but I still want to talk about it. So what do you think about how that went down? How that just Chris Rock tells this joke that that she perceives, that Jada perceives as in poor taste. So her husband decides to walk up to Chris Rock and smack him in the face and say, "Don't you ever keep my fucking wife's name out of your mouth," or something like that. What do you think about that situation?
Man, when I first saw it, I immediately thought of Dave Chappelle, Rick James.
Okay.
What did the five fingers say to the face? That flashed across my mind as soon as that happened. I was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So for me, to kind of, if I could put it in context, just as a filmmaker, as an indie filmmaker, this Oscars was the first one that I actually watched like all the way through. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna see what's up. I was like really intrigued because this Oscars was the first one that was produced by an all-black production company, Will Packard Productions, which is based here in Atlanta.
Oh wow!
And this was the first time that the Oscars let a black production company produce the Oscars. So this black production company was in charge of the flow, the look, the style, who the presenters was, just everything, you know, the organization of it. So that in and of itself was like dope as fuck and historic, right?
Right.
And then of course, just the night itself was really good and moved good, had a good pace. It wasn't too boring. Beyonce opened up the Oscars.
Yes, she did.
In Compton. She was in Compton, LA, singing for the King Richard soundtrack, which was epic.
Right.
And, you know, if it starts with Beyonce, it's guaranteed to be a good night.
Period.
And then of course you had your first openly queer woman of color to win an Oscar, a deaf actor to win an Oscar. There's only 2 deaf actors in the history of it won. So it was like a really historic night. And then even Will Smith's being nominated with Denzel Washington, it was just so much there.
Right.
And then it just went left. Oh yeah, Samuel Jackson
got his first Oscar.
He got his first Oscars after like 10,000 movies that he made.
Right.
I mean, it was just a crazy special night. Even the orchestra. The orchestra that was playing, you had DJ D Nice DJing it.
Right.
So you had to shout out DJ D Nice. You had an orchestra where it was 2 black composers or 2 black orchestrators. I forgot what their name is. But they was doing that. It was just a lot of just us there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, then Chris Rock comes out and, you know, he's doing Chris Rock. He's being himself. He's clowning everybody. And I definitely want to put that out there because I hear the media, they keep talking about how he just like would just win at Jada. He didn't even, you know, he clowned other people too. Right. White people, white men, white women.
Right.
And then he happened to land on Jada. You know, it was a bad joke. G.I. Jane too, you know, it's like, all right, that's something from like the early 2000s type of joke. But in my mind, I think he was being I don't think he was being malicious behind the joke. Will Smith even laughed at the joke at first.
Until
Until he saw Jada's eyes and was like, nah, I can't go out like this.
right.
You know, this whole entanglement thing and August Alsina, I'm sure all that was going in his head. He probably saw August Alsina's head just pop out of nowhere.
Chris's back.
So he was like, oh, nah, I can't go out like this. And, you know, as a man, whenever we gotta show out in front of our women or in front of our girl, we gonna do the most sometimes. Sometimes we do think irrationally when it comes to that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what he did. He he walked on stage. He didn't run. He walked. He took
Very
his precious
calmly.
time. Yeah, very cool. You know what I'm saying? And wow, you know, the slap that was heard across the multiverse. You know, it was a crazy night. Chris Rock didn't expect that. And then Will walked back to his seat and he then was like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth twice. It was, there's so many things for me. Like, I had to put it in context because it's like, as a black man, all of those things was really dope because we know the history of the Oscars and how the Oscars are so white and just not it hasn't been as diversified as it was this past Oscar. So to see all of that come to fruition and come together was really dope. And then this moment between two black men, you know, not even because it was at the Oscars, but just seeing that was just like, you know, that was disheartening. Right. I know for me, I was rooting for Will. We all knew Will was going to win. We all knew it was going to happen. And he's been going for this Oscars for years. I mean, he's been striving for that. Right. And this was a huge night for his career. And for that to happen on that particular night, it was just like the universe just, I don't know how it aligned, but it just aligned in that particular way. It's so odd. And I think what he said, what you want to say?
No, I'm just agreeing with you. It is odd. But what did he say? Something about in your biggest moments, that's when God touched you the most. Yeah. Yes.
Yep. So. I was just about to say that Denzel said that to him. Mm-hmm. They put him off to the side, and it's so real. It's so true, and it's like, wow. You know, so I just seeing two black men go at it, I hate to see it like that. But then for it to be broadcast across the world, you know, it's like, you know, there's that. And I totally get Will defending his wife, or as he said, you know, he was protecting his wife, protecting his family. It's just, it kind of reeks of, I don't know. It's just not a good look. Some people's calling it toxic masculinity and all of that. And I don't know if it's that. I think it's more so Will's ego just wasn't where it needed to be. Like, I mean, the past, 2 years since the whole entanglement situation came about, Will's been a meme. You know, he's been clowned. Right.
And that's the point that I was making is like, okay, we understand what happened, but Miss Mamas, Miss Wife, Miss Be His Peace, where was your antennas? You sitting there scolding and being mad, but like tell him, no, right now is not the time. Right now is not the time, babe. Like, come on. Let's be a power couple. Let's think things through. If I can't see clearly, one of us is going to have to see things clearly. So this from LeXrated, I don't know if it means anything, if it's going to get all the way to Red Table Talk, but I was not feeling it. This black table was not feeling it. But we will have...
You know your spouse.
Exactly.
You know how they would react. Maybe she didn't think Will was going to do that, but it seems like there was something deeper going on there with Will. Like,
it was her.
Snapped,
it was her. And she's been what's been going on this whole time, as far as I'm concerned.
She's like the puppet master pulling the strings.
Ain't it? But we got listen. We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna pay these bills, show y'all what else is going on in the entertainment world up here in Louisville. And when we come back, we will talk some more with Party All Weekend about what he's been doing. Stay tuned. Stay plugged in.
Want your brand or business featured on the plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Baby, you better open up your door, baby.
Of all. So let me tell y'all that as far as this singing goes, as far as this entertaining goes, like listen, he was one of the first connections I made, one of the first people I ever met, one of the first people that looked at me and then told somebody else, hey, she might have something going on. So I appreciate you so much. He hosted the first mixtape that I ever put out. I put out a mixtape with my best friend, y'all, and we was like, "Can you host this? Can you put your sprinkle on this?" And you was more than happy to do so. Oh my gosh! So love you forever for that. Thank you so much. But
That was a vibe too. That was a whole vibe mixtape.
thank
That was
you.
fire.
Yeah, thank you. And it's still very much the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but years later, you've grown so much and ventured out and done so many different things. So right now, I know that you made a film. You made a film here in Louisville. Can you remind me of the name of that film?
Yeah, we made a film. We made a few films in Louisville, but the
Yeah.
main one is Frat House. Frat House.
Yes.
A college party movie. I think Lexi, you was an extra in that, right?
I was in fact at the house party. I was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you was in Bad too, our other short film that we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing
yeah,
stuff.
so that was the main one that we did. That was back in 2018.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, time flies. Yeah, that was a long summer. It's a very fun film.
Yeah.
And we was able to premiere it in Louisville at Village 8. And we had 3 screenings. Both of them,
Yeah.
2 of the first ones sold out. And then we had to do a Valentine's Day screening in 2019. That was super dope.
That's so dope. That's so dope. And so now you're still making films. So what's the name of your film that you've most recently worked on?
So the most recent film is called Savage. And Savage. And it's a short film. It's actually more of a trailer for our next feature film, Trill Summer, but it within itself is a film story all by itself. I'm super excited for it because it's within this continuity that we started in the Frat House movie. So Frat House kind of like started this whole storyline, and Savage picks up some of that. And carries that into Trill Summer. Now the cool thing with Savage is some of the no characters from Frat House is in it, but there might be one character from Frat House in it. And I'm just excited to get back to be able to get back into that world and to just move forward with this story that I've been planning for like years. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited. Savage is mainly about, if I can give like a small description, I would say a couple bring home a beautiful woman for some fun, for a little fun, but things just does not go the way they planned.
I bet.
At all. So yeah, it's pretty dope. Our cast was really excited to be in it, very passionate, and we was able to get a couple of little celebrities in there, low key. So I'm pretty excited about the film. I'm looking to have it come out in summer.
Okay, so I would love to know, because that sounds awesome, and we all know that the finished product is going to be amazing, and that's what everybody wants to see. No problem, but I would love to know about the creative process. Like, what is it like to dream up a film and then bring it to life? What is that process like?
You know, you're an artist as well, so it's very similar to making music. You know,
Yeah.
you hear these words and this mood and this vibe, and you want to get that out of you.
Right.
I would say, because they say making a movie, you do it 3 times. The first time when you write the movie, the second time when you shoot the movie, and then the third time when you edit the movie.
Okay.
And I would say that's definitely super true. We're at the third place right now.
Okay.
But like just bringing to life voices that you hear. Well, first of all, the voice that you hear in your head and kind of making it a structured storyline is fun.
Okay.
For me as a writer, that's probably the most fun that I don't know if I can say that now. Well, I would say it's the most liberating part of the process.
Yeah.
Just writing it. Because it's
Yeah.
very intimate. You already know what it is to write. And it's very intimate, it's very personal, and
Right.
you just kind of get lost
Mm-hmm.
in this world.
Yeah.
And then to bring other people into that. At first you're like a young mom who's like, no, don't touch my baby.
Precious.
Yeah, my precious. But you have to let that go, just let other people, because I'm not necessarily a director, although I am on set kind of giving my tips and advice.
Right.
But like for this project, we brought a Black woman to direct this project. I really wanted that for this project. I wanted her to tell this story that way.
Yeah.
But she came from Indianapolis. Her name is Sandrea Finet.
Okay.
And she's really dope, super dope, man. Very, very creative, very artistic. And you know, she brought her vision to it, but I would talk through her and she would talk to the cast. So you have to really trust your director, your other producers, your cinematographer, and all of that, your cast to do it. And for them to bring it to life, it's very surreal. It's like, oh wow, this is real. This is happening, you know, like it's just crazy. And so just to be able to be here is a blessing, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's amazing to have a team that you trust with your vision and y'all all working together, and now it's you all's vision that y'all are bringing to life. That's amazing. And so she came from Indianapolis all the way down to where you are. Where are you these days?
I am in the A, shawty.
Oh, yeah?
Man, we is in ATL, Hotlanta, whatever you want to call it. We brought her down here from Indianapolis. And then, of course, I brought my team from Louisville, an actor from Louisville, and everybody else was here. And we did our thing. And look, I definitely don't want to sugarcoat it. It's definitely a lot of work. It's hard work. Just even getting to that part, and then even being on set it can be some grueling stuff, man. Like, because one night we was on set till like 7 a.m. in the morning.
Oh wow!
And we started at 5 p.m. the prior day.
Oh wow!
But we just had to finish. We had to keep it pushing. We had to keep it going. It was some late nights, and it was kind of cold. It was some late nights, so it's a lot of work. But you know, it's like when you're doing what you love.
Right.
It don't even feel like it. Like I was telling them, like, yo, we was on set for like 13, 14 hours. And of course we got food, we got stuff like that for our cast and crew. But I could knock this out. Like I was cool. And I work a regular job on top of this doing 10 hours, and I'll be dreading each hour.
Oh my goodness. Days is overlapping because 10 hours here, 14 plus hours there. Listen, that's the whole day's accounted for. That's wild. That's wild. Oh wow.
I am happy I was able to get off that weekend, but it's like it just don't even compare like when you're doing something that you love to do.
Right.
So it's definitely a process. Anybody who's listening to this who wants to get in film, definitely just keep that motivation and that passion, because that's what's going to keep you in the days in and days out when you're not feeling like your vision's coming together or it's just exhausting.
Right.
And you got things you got to do. You got to follow up with people and do casting calls, and it can be a lot, but it's also a lot of fun too.
Yeah. And you know what? I so want to hear. I want to touch more on everything that you were just talking about in a second when we come back. We're gonna cut to some commercials, see what else is going on in the city, but do not go anywhere. This is LeXrated on Plug Network. Stay plugged in. What's up, y'all? It's Alexa Morgan with LeXrated podcast on the Plug Network online bi-weekly on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Stay plugged in.
Want your brand or business featured on the plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.
Baby, you better open up your door.
Welcome back to LeXrated podcast. I am your host, Alexa Morgan. We are here with DJ Party All Weekend down in Atlanta. He took his time out to come join us today, so we appreciate you so much for that. This is our final segment, and so I have to ask you, I like to ask every creative who's on here, if you could give, I have two questions for you, actually. So my first question is, if you could give an aspiring creative any one piece of advice, what would it be?
Stay true to your vision. I would say that stay true to your vision, because a lot of times people will come in and try to have you second guess your vision and what you have for now, maybe not even just a particular project, but even just your career in general.
Right.
And as long as you stay true to what is in your heart and what you see and what you know is possible, stay true to that. A lot of people will try to say, man, you can't do that. There's this, that, and the third going on, or right, you don't have no experience, but if you see it, you can do it for sure. I would say that.
Yeah, that's for sure. And sometimes you can't worry about how it comes to you either. Like when I first started, because I can resonate with that a lot. When I first began, I was hosting Sweet Peaches open mic, and I was singing my songs at open mics. Yes. But I've had a vision for myself. Of course, my first love is music. I want to sing everywhere, right? But I also saw myself as like this messenger type of person. I'm like, maybe I should be a journalist or a newscaster. And then, one day out of the blue, so people are like, hey, does anybody want a podcast? And I'm like, hey, I think I want a podcast. And I'm like, you'd be great for that. And I'm like, well, what do you know? Or somebody asked me to host a women's empowerment conference. I'm like, me? You want me to do that? Right. But I'm like, there's nothing I would rather do. Like, I'm about to brag about this. Like, I can be a part of the Empower Women Squad. It's amazing. Yeah, and it's like those goals, sometimes they weren't always like in the forefront of my mind, but by sticking to who I am, without me even thinking about it too much, those opportunities still made their way to me. So that's really dope. Now, thank you. I want to talk about this show of bravery, because first of all, I was about to ask, you moved from Kentucky to Atlanta, but you're not even from Kentucky, right?
God, oh God. I'm originally from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
And then of course I was in the military. So I'm almost like a what they call a nomad. I
Yeah.
feel like I have no home. But you know what though? I always feel like Detroit's definitely my home. Louisville's like my second home. And I'm
Yeah.
adopted Louisville and Illinois because I lived in Illinois for some time.
That's what I was about to
And
say. I thought you was from Chicago.
yeah, I went to college in Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went
Okay.
to college and I did some of my military service out there.
Okay.
So yeah, I had some pretty crazy years there too.
Yeah.
But I'm now adopting Atlanta for my new space. And I would say one thing I've realized being here is a lot of people here are kind of like that. Like of course, they relocated here.
Right.
It's like a whole lot of, I don't know, strangers who's coming together and building this community.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Which is kind of cool. So it's like I've met a lot of people who just recently moved out here or been out here for like a couple of years, and you know, it makes networking a lot easier.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes the transition a little bit more smoother because you don't feel like you're this oddball out. Everybody's basically an oddball, and but they're bringing their, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's people from all over.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Because I was gonna say, like, what would be like a tip or a piece of motivation that you would give someone who's been kind of thinking? Because I've been seeing that a lot. Like, I'm ready to get out of this city and follow my dreams. I want to go somewhere else and I want to expand and all of this and all of that. Like, what advice, since you've done it a few times now, what piece of advice would you give somebody who's looking to make that move for like the very first time?
You know, I would definitely say know where you want to go, plan ahead. One thing that helped me transition here was of course I was able to like secure like a steady income here because I knew I wouldn't be DJing out you know, just as soon as I got here. I knew that would take time, and that helped me out. But just doing it, honestly, just doing it, like this is what we doing. And it is scary because even when I moved here, I did have prior years of moving, so it kind of helped. But you know, I did miss Louisville a lot. I was like, man, you know, I do miss certain aspects of Louisville and all of that.
Probably the traffic. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to that. I thank God every day I'm not in an accident because it's crazy out here. But you know, I would say just do it. Like if you feel that in your heart. And at first I didn't want to move to Atlanta because I felt like everybody was moving here.
Yeah, we hear that it's oversaturated, but then you get there and you're like, it's more of a sense of building community. So yeah,
it really is. It really is. Like, you know, so I would tell anybody out there who's considering moving anywhere, you know, don't let the naysayers tell you anything else. If you know, hey, I can go there and you know, do my thing and make a difference somehow, you know, I definitely would encourage it. I do feel like moving does put you in a different state of mind. Like since I do films, well, Atlanta's good for DJing music,
right? Of course.
But also films is Black Hollywood, and just being able to work in the atmosphere, work in the mecca of what I'm doing. It helps. There's a lot of resources that typically wouldn't be available in Louisville. That really helps. A lot of networking involved. There's a lot of studios here, for example, a lot of production companies.
Right.
They have tax incentives. That's just different. So it is different. And one thing I've noticed out here is the motivation out here is insane. Like, you know, if you already have motivation coming from like a place like Louisville and you move to a place like here or maybe a Houston or whatever, your motivation is going to go 100-fold, like, because you're now surrounded by people who are like you,
who are amplifying.
Yeah, they're amplifying it because they moved to that city for the same reason you did. And as long as you can have like a collaborative, like no need for competition, like we can all really get it and benefit from one another. They're going to motivate you. You're going to motivate them, and just that hustle. Just that hustle spirit is going to carry you through. My light just This
You
went
trying
out.
to change the vibe on us? It's all good. We only got about 20 more seconds anyway. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank y'all.
Listen, because you done inspired me, because my brain been moving anyway. I don't know. I might be coming to a city near you soon, but
Hey,
thank
come
you.
through.
Yeah,
Come
and
through.
I'll be sure to give you a call. Yeah, but thank you so much, Party All Weekend, for hanging out with us today.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you so much. I am Alexa Morgan. This is LeXrated, and you are tuned into the Plug Network. Stay tuned. Stay plugged in. What's up, y'all? It's Alexa Morgan with LeXrated Podcast on the Plug Network online bi-weekly on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Stay plugged in.
Want your brand or business featured on the plug? Advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. Again, advertise with us at plugnetworkonline.com. We got the eyes that are looking for you.